Welcome back to Citizen Extra, live on Citizen TV. We immediately take you to Uasin Gishu County, Eldoret to be specific, where an Eldoret-based human rights activist, Ken Wafula, has passed on. He died in hospital and he was rushed there with breathing problems. Now, the activist came to the limelight in the wake of the ICC cases against 6 Kenyans accused of roles in the 2007-2008 post-election violence. He was a director at the Center for Human Rights and Democracy. To tell us more about that, we now join John Wanyama. Wanyama, what more details can you give us?
Indeed, Wahiga, I'm at St. Luke's Hospital, where I'm coming live to you, and here we got this news just some few hours ago that human rights activist Ken Wafula passed on in this particular hospital this morning. And Wahiga, Ken Wafula will be remembered for many things, and as you remember, one time it was alleged that he was involved in coaching some of the witnesses of ICC in the case that was involving President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto. But Wahiga, for these questions to be answered on how he died, what time he was brought in, I'm joined here by the doctor who, Daktari, if you can come closer to me, who was really treating him. Daktari, what really happened to this Ken Wafula? Just come here, please. Okay, I will hold it for you.
Yes, my name is Dr. Lagat. I'm a physician. Ken was brought in yesterday evening around 5 p.m. After he was acutely taken ill back at home in Kapsoya, where he's been living with his family. He came with what we described as acute confusional state, and when we evaluated him, we realized that he had new diabetes mellitus that had not been diagnosed, and he had complications that included kidney dysfunction and metabolic conditions associated with diabetes. We believe he succumbed to complications of the same. Yes.
Maybe what time was he brought in? And
he was brought in around 5 p.m. Yesterday evening. Yes.
Okay. Maybe do you see any need that there will be post-mortem or?
Yeah, as far as we understand at the moment, he succumbed to complications of acute diabetes and acute kidney injury. Whether we'll have a post-mortem or not is a subject that we'll be discussing with the family, and I think we'll be making that decision later today in consultation with the family and other stakeholders. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. for going to Citizen Extra.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wahiga Maura, there you have it, and the doctor has confirmed it to you, and maybe whether there were speculations on how he died, the doctor has really put it clear. And Wahiga, the controversial activist Ken Wafula, most of the time he has been a resident here in Uasin Gishu County, and despite the fact that he was widely mentioned in the coaching ICC witness, he didn't fear walking on Eldoret streets. You could just meet him talking to people, and like other people who could fear maybe when some such heavy words were mentioned against them. But Ken Wafula was courageous. He used to walk and talk to people in Eldoret town. So far, Waiga, we are still following up on these stories and many other on how the burial plan will be starting and where he will be laid to rest. We will be coming to you to tell you where and how everything is happening here, where you and our viewers will not miss even a point. We will tell you once and when we get this report. Waiga.
Well, thank you, John Wanyama, for relaying that news update to our viewers, and of course our condolences to his family and friends at this moment. Another quick update, Edith Vethi Nyenze, widow to the late Kitui West Member of Parliament Francis Nyenze, will represent Wiper Party in the March 26th by-election after she trounced her competitor Maluki Mwendwa in the nominations yesterday. Now, Mrs. Nyenze won with 13,388 votes against Maluki's 2,663 votes in the primaries conducted last night. She has extended an olive branch to her competitor, saying time had come for the two leaders to vouch a common course for championing of the Wiper Party after this mini poll. Now, Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua was on hand to receive the party nominee, who now has an upper hand in succeeding her late husband.
I really thank you for the support. I thank you for the prayers. I thank God for answered prayers. And I pray that you people move with me so that come at March 26th, we move together. So my success is your success. Thank you.
And on my own behalf as the Senator of Kitui County, I want to say thank you very much to the people of Kitui West for your expression of love and support and goodwill to Mrs. Nyenze. And I want to give this assurance that as a party, we are going to cover every corner of this constituency to make sure that on March 26, 2018, Mrs. Edith Vevi Nyenze will be declared the Member of Parliament for Kitui West.
Well, clearly a very jubilant crowd there. In other updates, the European Union last evening discussed the situation in Kenya. Members of Parliament called for more support to strengthen electoral processes and institutions in Kenya. The EU Election Observer Mission made 29 recommendations on how to strengthen the electoral process. MPs praised the Maricha Shaka-led mission, saying its work was professional.
All Kenyans aspire to free and fair elections with credible and accountable institutions. We have always supported Kenya in its path towards a stronger democracy, including through election observers to every Kenyan presidential election since 2002. And this is also, I think, an example of Kenya's commitment to transparency and to their relationship with the European Union. Our observation missions are never meant to declare a winner. That's not our job. They are there to observe, to report, and to make recommendations on how to strengthen the electoral process. And the Electoral Observation Mission to Kenya last year has reported substantial progress compared to previous elections, and yet the 2017 electoral process was still marked by some irregularities, political polarization, and acts of violence. As you know, the mission's final report was published last week. The chief observer, Maricha Shaka, and her team covered both the August general election and the unforeseen but historic decision by the Kenyan Supreme Court to order a rerun of the presidential election last October. The mission's recommendation for the rerun election already played a constructive role. In particular, they helped the Kenyan Electoral Commission to make systematic changes, which largely wiped up irregularity in the transmission and tallying of results. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Maricha Shaka and her team for the fantastic job that you did there. The mission's conduct has been balanced, constructive, and highly professional, in line with the terms of the agreement with the Kenyan authority. And throughout the electoral process, the mission that Mrs. Shaka and her colleagues have reported about, they have reported both the irregularities and the progress they witnessed in the best interests of Kenya's democracy and of Kenyan citizens. Despite this overall positive environment, the mission has received criticism from supporters on both political sides. And this wasn't just unpleasant, it was totally unjustified. The mission's final report provides a good basis to discuss how to further improve Kenya's electoral system. And we are ready to support this work, and the High Representative Mogherini has sent senior officials to Nairobi on Saturday to pass this message to the Kenyan authorities, even if no government is yet fully formed. There is room to build on the progress already achieved, and there is a duty to do so for the people of Kenya. Kenya can move towards more inclusive governance and more inclusive development. All communities and ethnic groups should feel that they have a role in the country's present and future. Kenyans have already decided that the devolution of powers in the existing constitutional tool to achieve this goal. Kenya has a huge potential for economic and human development. It can be a force for stability and growth in the whole region. But the only way to unleash its potential is by making Kenya's democracy stronger and more credible. And the people of Kenya can count on the European Union.
Well, that's a little bit about what transpired yesterday at the European Union. Now, closer home, 9 people who perished in last week's Nyeri Nyahururu road accident were yesterday laid to rest in Kiboya village of Ndaragwa. Speakers at the ceremony called on the government to enforce traffic laws to curb road carnage. The 9 included the driver, a 2-year-old child, and 7 women who perished during the incident that also left 8 other passengers nursing serious injuries in various hospitals. They died while on their way home from Mokorweni, Nyeri for a burial ceremony of one of their friends. Among the leaders who attended this burial is Public Service CS Cicely Kariuki, Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia, and Senator Mwangi Githiomi.
Bishop Kenywa Negeza of
tunasema tunataka Michuki Road ikue kwa barabara zetu hapa Kenya. Isipokuwa ni hii speed, hawa watu wote hawangeafa. Sisi wenyewe ambao tunaingia katika gari ambazo zimejaa. Tafadhalini wenzangu, tuache kuimagine kwamba siku yako haijafika.
Mimi ningependa kuuliza wananchi wetu, wale wote ambao wako barabarani, hata ingawa hii mambo ya traffic imerudishwa kwa traffic police, sio kusema kwamba hiyo ndio mwisho wa sheria. Lazima tuende kuungana pamoja, kuona kwamba wale ambao wamebeba watu wetu katika magari za umma, ukiona dereva anaendesha gari kwa njia ambayo si mzuri, ni mzuri hata huyo dereva asimamishwe. Kama kuna dereva kwa hiyo gari, take over, enda kwa police station, baada ya mtu kuendesha gari mpaka watu wanaenda alafu wanafariki.
Well, time now to focus on the ICC.